Hey, what's up? I'm Seth, and I just finished watching Jungle Cruise. Alright, Jungle Cruise. So, coming into this movie, I was comparing it to Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if you remember when it came out, but everybody thought it would be stupid because it was based on a ride, and it turned out to be incredibly fun. But then they released some other movies based on rides like Haunted Mansion and Tomorrowland, and they just weren't that great. So, where does this one fit? It's not as great as Pirates of the Caribbean, I would say that. That one just was surprisingly amazing. I thought that one was tons of fun. It was unique. This movie, I think, is not as bad as Haunted Mansion. That just turned out to be awful and just not easy to watch. So it's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's got some fun characters, but it's not one that I would say, oh, you need to go see right now. In fact, I paid the $30 to watch it on Disney Plus this morning. Would I recommend that you do the same? I would not. I would say just wait. But the big question I always ask when I'm watching a movie is this a movie I'd want to share with my kids? Because I love sharing movies with my kids. That's tons of fun to sit with them and talk about it and just enjoy it. So is this one that I think would be like a great one to share with them? Again, maybe. My kids are 12, 10, 7, and 5, and so they're kind of in the tween to younger stages. And I think this movie fits kind of for those older kids, for my 10 and 12-year-old. There's some things I liked about this movie, some things I didn't like about this movie. Let me get into it and tell you why I would share it with my kids and why not, and what I liked. Okay, real quick, this is just a light spoiler review. I'd love to say no spoilers at all, because I'm assuming you haven't watched this yet and you're trying to decide if you're going to buy it or watch it with your kids. I'm going to say no spoiler to light spoilers. The only reason I say light spoilers is because when I talk about what I like about a movie, I do have to reveal some things, but I'm going to try and be really careful not to reveal too much. So first, what I liked about this movie. I did like the characters. I thought the characters were fun. I mean, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he's just charismatic. He's fun to watch. When he was a wrestler and I enjoyed him then, I enjoy him now. I think he's a fun actor to watch. I don't think he's an amazing actor. I think he kind of plays the same person all the time. But that's okay, because I like him. And I think other people do too. He's charismatic. He's fun. Emily Blunt also does an amazing job. She's an incredible actress and just also fun to watch. And you can tell that she's having fun too. And so having those characters was tons of fun. I also love just having a strong woman character. In fact, those are coming up a lot now. It's going to be to the point where I don't have to call it out, but I still do. I love that my daughters get to see a very strong female character, and she does a great job. Besides the main leads, The Rock and Emily Blunt, there's Emily Blunt's character's brother. I don't know his name. He does a pretty good job. The other side characters and villains are just kind of there, and they're just okay. But mainly what I liked was those main core characters. I also liked the new story and new location. I mean, having a Jungle Cruise is unique. Sure, it's based on a Disney property, which is a ride which, you didn't ever think would need to be a movie, and it doesn't really have much to do with the ride. So if you're really into the ride and you think, wow, this is really going to be awesome for the ride, that doesn't really happen. I think there's more correlation with the Pirates of the Caribbean movie and the Pirates of the Caribbean ride than there was with the Jungle Cruise movie and the Jungle Cruise ride. So if you're really looking for that connection, you're not going to probably get that. But it was a fun new location, new story, new style. That was cool. And finally, I liked that it was family friendly. It's a lighter tone. Sure, there are some dark elements. It is still rated PG-13. It is a little more for that tween age kids and families. But it tries to keep it light, and it tries to keep it fun. Okay, so what didn't I like? What are some things that I didn't think would be fun for my kids to watch? First off, so I'm not backpedaling. I do like The Rock. I do like Dwayne Johnson. I think he's fun and he's charismatic and he does a good job with his delivery, but I didn't love his character. His character had some weird choices and some things with dishonesty that I didn't really love. And so that's maybe a light spoiler. I'm going to try and stay away from spoilers like I said. But he's just not as great of a character. He's a scoundrel, and he kind of gets close to that kind of Han Solo scoundrel where he's lovable and fun and charismatic. But there's a couple choices and a couple things with dishonesty that just didn't sit right with me. I'm just like, what? Why is he making these choices? Why is he communicating this way? And so that was I didn't love that with this character. Okay, so some other things I didn't love about this movie, and this is more I'm thinking about my 7 and my 5-year-old, but it was a little violent and scary. It's not quite as violent as Pirates of the Caribbean, but there was some characters kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean, where some of the pirates were ghosts, if you remember that, and they were kind of crusty looking in the moon and kind of skeletal and that kind of stuff. There's a couple characters that aren't skeletal. They're actually not as scary as Pirates of the Caribbean, but they're like these undead characters that have different animals and parts of the jungle inside them, and you can kind of see it. It actually reminded me a lot of Jumanji, which is funny because Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in that as well, and now they have this, and the bad guy in that had like the snakes and stuff crawling through him. Yeah, so this is a little similar, and so if you have a phobia of snakes, you're not gonna like it. And, you know, for the younger kids, it may be a little creepy. Now, like I said, there is a light, family-friendly tone. They really do try hard not to make it super scary. These actual scary characters, they're not gory, they're not bloody, but they are still undead. So there's that. So again, a little violent, scary. There are some people who die. There is, you know, some slashing and fighting and punching. No blood, but that's still probably why it got that PG-13 rating, is because it is a violent adventure film. Finally, last thing I didn't love about this movie is I felt like the story was a little messy. Like I said in the beginning, as far as my personal review, it wasn't one that was like, oh, super compelling. Like, I'm going to go tell my friends, you need to go watch this movie that you didn't think would be good. It's going to be really good. It's just okay. I mean, I felt that way with Pirates of the Caribbean. I even felt that way with other adventure movies from Disney, like A National Treasure. I thought that one was tons of fun, and it was a super big surprise. This one is fun, but not, like, surprisingly awesome. It's just okay. Would I share it with my kids? Sure. You know, especially my older two, but I don't think it'd be particularly memorable. Would I spend the $30 just to take my kids to see it? Probably not. I'd maybe do a matinee if I was going to do theater. If I was going to do Disney Plus, I'd probably just wait a couple of months and let it come out and have it be a fun new movie in a couple of months when it's free on Disney with my regular subscription. Okay, finally, when you do watch it, there are a couple questions you could ask your kids that I think would be good, just to try and get more out of the movie. First of all, I would ask them about The Rock's character. His name's Frank, and I would say, why do you think Frank made those decisions? How could he have communicated better? What could he have done instead of some of the choices he made? Again, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I didn't quite understand all of his character's motivation. So I really liked Emily Blunt's character. I thought she was a strong female character. So I'd ask some questions around her, like, what did you think about how she got things done? What did you think about her motivation? Good, bad, you know, what was your thoughts? And the final question I'd ask my kids is just a personal curiosity. You know, would you watch it again? Like I said, I don't think I would. It might be fun just on a random movie night, but it's not one I would just, you know, run out and see. So that's kind of where I sit with this. That's my review. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like this review, then check out my other summer movie reviews. I've watched some of those other new Disney Plus movies, and I gave some thoughts about those, so check that out. Hit the like and subscribe button. Tell me what you thought about Jungle Cruise if you've already seen it, or what expectations you have. I'd love to hear that. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you soon.